the camera this way. It wouldn't let us. We had to flip it this way, but then it was upside down and all kinds of stuff. And you're going to hear a little noise in the background right now because I've got this little guy right here. And Samuel is walking back and forth because I just got yogurt. Your shirt? You want to show me your shirt? What's on your shirt?
What?
Fire truck.
Fire truck.
So Samuel is walking back and forth with jars of yogurt because we are putting our yogurt in a cooler overnight. But the cooler is in my shower because I needed the bigger cooler, and the bigger cooler has like a spout thing. Like, you know, where you can like let the water out if the ice melts.
Yep.
I want to put that in my shower in case it accidentally leaks overnight, because I don't want it leaking all over my kitchen.
Out of the bathroom.
So anyway, he's putting yogurt in there, and that water noise is going to stop in a minute once we get that. So if you can hear us,
Can you hear us? Yeah.
let us know, because I don't see any comments, but maybe I just don't have the comments on. I don't know. If you write something, I'll know.
Welcome 7 people. I don't know who any of you are. Oh, I can't
But
see.
It's okay. You can get on your phone
Hi,
if you want
people.
to. But yeah, so I was trying to get the yogurt made tonight because we are trying to get stuff done. Oh yeah, someone can hear us. Yeah. We're trying to get stuff done because tomorrow we are going on a drive to Winthrop, which is a town in Maine that Mark's mom, dad, and his 2 brothers lived in before Mark was born.
I just noticed Jody Weaver is here. Oh, sorry. I don't have to do that. Nobody wants to look over here. Let's look over here. Jody Weaver is in the house, and we have a video plan to do with that box over here.
Jody sent us a box of kids' books, and I looked through them really quickly the first day, but we haven't gone through them with the kids yet because we are finishing our summer reading program, and the books in the box look great, but the books don't count for our summer reading program. So I'm trying to get the last person to read to get their reading done before I introduce all the new wonderful books. Yeah. And so we are going to, what was I going to say? We're going to do a book haul. I'm going to show the kids all the books, and you're going to hear which ones they're excited about. And hopefully people will give me ideas of which books they like based on the books that we got. Does that make sense? All the books in the box looked great though.
People don't send us boxes of books very often, but when they do, it makes people smile around here.
It does. They're very excited. Can I ask a favor of you?
Sure, what you need?
Could you change the little boy diaper?
Certainly.
I just realized that that was one thing I was going to try to get accomplished before we got on live, was getting Elisha ready for bed. And I didn't get it done because I was making yogurt, and we were reading the book 1984. We just started it. Tell me what you know about the book 1984, because I never read it as a kid. I remember when I was in high school, we had to pick off of a list of authors, and we had to read a book, and then we had to present it to the class. And I remember somebody else doing a presentation of the book in 1984, and they would randomly send you out of class if you touched your ear, or we didn't know what the rules were, and we were randomly getting sent out of class. It was a really fun, but I never read the book. It was a fun way to learn about the book. I don't know if it was that one or another one, but our teachers encouraged us to do these types of learning. And my friend and I, because you had to read with a partner, my friend and I read books by James Herriot, who was a veterinarian in Europe, in London, the London countryside type thing. And he had to work a lot of times in really cold conditions. And so we made people in our class stick their hands in bowls of water and then try to do simple tasks like tying a shoe and things like that. It was kind of to bring the book to life. And I loved those kinds of book reports. So I do a lot of that stuff with our kids. But
none of the docks and hang out the fishing
1980.
Frozen cold hands.
He was saying if you work in Maine in the ocean, you get frozen cold hands. So 1984 is a book that Mark has read, and it came up in something we were talking about the other day. So we have started reading it with the oldest kids.
Everybody talking about AI.
Oh, AI, and we're in Revelation right now. We're in Revelation right now. So the whole idea of the mark of the beast and what's the mark of the beast going to look like? What's society going to look like in the time of Revelation? That came up with that too. So digital servants. I've had, because we have a YouTube channel, I occasionally get, oh, hi, Jordan. It's good to have you here with us. How old is Jordan? Because maybe I'm talking like it's a little kid and it's not a little kid. Sorry if you're like 35 and I'm talking to you like that. But it's good to have you here with us. So we've been offered things through email to like do promotions for our YouTube, and some of them are fun. Like we've been offered board games and we've been offered books and things like that. There's a lot of things that we just choose not to do. Like I don't want to do jewelry advertisement because I don't wear jewelry. But we've been offered multiple digital like assistant, like here, someone can help you make your grocery bill, if they want to help me with my grocery bill, they can do that, but help you make your grocery plan and all of that. And I'm like, no, I don't want that. So, oh, she's 10. Hi, Jordan. It's really good to have you here. Because she said that you like my channel. What is your favorite videos on my channel? I'd really like to know because I like to make videos for everybody. And since you're not a mom at 10 and you're not homeschooling, but if those are your favorite videos, let me know. Okay, so I'm going to go back to some comments. Hi, Geranium. Hi, Alex. That would be Soli Deo Gloria for people who don't know. Yeah, the one that, yes, the prediction of the future. So it was written, the book 1984 was written in 1949 about what he thought 1984 would look like.
35 years.
And some of the stuff is interesting. Like Samuel pointed out, it talks about the TVs. They can watch people through their TVs in their house, but they have to plug in your wire. And now they would just do it all wirelessly. So even how much things have changed in that time. So, Daddy, we have someone we might need to, I don't know what their comments are. And then your dad also wrote a video, but if you can watch comments on here for me first. So he finished dealing with people. Yes, the George Orwell book, read it in high school. Big Brother, yes. And their slogans were war is peace, freedom is slavery, and ignorance is strength. I don't know. It seems very, we're only reading it with the 16-year-old and the 19-year-olds because we don't feel anyone else is. So, oh, the day in the life videos. I have not done one of those day in the life videos for a while, and so I should probably do one of those soon. Do you need me to call your phone?
No.
Or have Naomi call your phone because I can't call it while I'm on? Mark has lost his phone. I don't know where it went. I was working on yogurt and he was sitting and reading a book and we somehow lost the phone. So anyway, yeah, so we've had a busy couple days. We thought we had like a totally free week except for an activity on Friday, and our week got busy and good. Is everybody here still? Tell me on that phone. Okay, I went away for a minute because Mark's phone is the one that I'm recording on, and we all thought we had lost a phone. So he was going to use my phone, and then in the mayhem of everything. So I'm hopefully not going to freeze again. My daughter called this phone twice thinking we had lost this phone. So if I freeze again, please let me know. Okay, so we thought our week was going to be really easy. Then yesterday, yeah, don't pour it directly on the jars or, okay, they're putting the water in the yogurt. So we thought the week was going to be really free and clear. Yesterday, we were just home. It was a Monday, and there was it was supposed to rain all day long. We ended up getting like pouring rain at times, which was awesome for the garden. We really liked that. But the day, there were some things that had happened the night before that Mark wasn't feeling well. And so I ended up taking him to the hospital to get checked out yesterday. He is fine, and we will share that story in just a little bit when he comes back. But he's watching somebody right now for me. Then today, while we were at the hospital yesterday, well, actually, yesterday morning, I set up a chiropractor's appointment for 2 of the kids today because they were complaining of some back stuff over the weekend. We got both of them in. While I was at the hospital with Mark yesterday, I got a call confirming Malachi had an ENT appointment next week. And like 20 minutes after I confirmed it, they called me and said, hey, there's an opening tomorrow. Would you like it? And I said, sure, I'll take that opening. Then we decided, I asked Mark's mom a couple days ago, for those who don't know, who haven't been here before. Hi, sweet pea. Mark's mom lives with us, and she like, I wanted to know if there was anything she wanted to do this summer. This is her first summer. Like, she lived with us last summer, but she still had her license and ability to drive, but she has chosen to not use her license, which is fine. But I wanted to see if there was anything this summer that we could do with her that she wanted to do, because she usually just does what we do if she's going places with us. And so she said she wanted to go visit Winthrop, which was a town she used to live in before Mark was even born. So we made arrangements to do that tomorrow. Yeah. Then while we're doing that, we're trying to get together with Mark's aunt, because we haven't seen her in multiple months. We saw her last summer because it was really hot when we went. That is Mark's mom's brother's wife. Her brother passed away last year. I think it was fallish time. And we haven't had a chance to go back up and see his wife. So we're going to do all that tomorrow. So that's great, but we had to like get stuff ready for that. And then Thursday, we have been invited to see a friend who goes to our church, and her son usually lives with her. Well, he does live with her, but he is out of town right now. So she invited us over, I guess to keep her company or to help her eat up the food or whatever, but it's very exciting. She lives on a beautiful piece of property right on a tidal river. So here in Maine, some of the rivers have tides also, like you see with the ocean. So if you're not from a place that touches the ocean, you might not know, but the river can go in and out just like the tide does at the ocean edge. And so tomorrow it's going to be Thursday, it'll be low tide at the time that we'd be there. So we can go down. Thank you. Sorry. We can go down to the tide, like down to the edge and see tidal pools and things like that. No, I do it. Okay. Thank you. I don't know what that was, so I just didn't want to answer it. And then Friday, we had already planned to go to one of our local libraries. There is a traveling historical exhibit going around Maine this summer to see one of the copies of the, okay, that's fine. One of the copies for Danforth. No, it's not Danforth. It's a D. I forget the name of it. But there were 26 copies made of the Declaration of Independence, and those were sent to the 13 original colonies. The Maine Historical Society has a copy of one of those, and they are taking it to different places in the state. So it is coming to one of our local libraries this week, and so we have tickets, like you have to get tickets and sign in and everything, for Friday to go see that. So we're very excited. If someone lives in the area, it's happening in Camden on, I think, Friday and Saturday.
Dunlap Broadside.
There we go, the Dunlap Broadside. There's 26 copies of it, and we're excited to go see that, so that's going to be good. But in all of that, Mark's back now.
Sorry.
In all of that, we have to go to a doctor's appointment for Mark first that morning, because when we went to the ER yesterday, there were no real results, and we have to go see his doctor. And so his doctor got him in on Friday, which is great, but that means we'll go to one town and then have to drive multiple towns over to get to the thing. But the doctor's office suggested a time that didn't interfere with us seeing the Declaration. So that was pretty cool. So, hi.
Doctor before all that.
Hi, Lisa. It's good to have you here. Okay, we're going to give a quick why we were at the ER yesterday.
Oh, yeah, forget about
and
that.
the reason we didn't give like more information online was because it's something that's a little confusing to explain, and we didn't get a diagnosis. So it's easier to say, like a couple months ago, we went with Josiah to the ER. He broke his arm, or we have to follow up because they think he broke his arm. That's an easy thing to say. We don't have an easy thing to say. So go ahead. Do you want to say it, or do you want me to say it?
I want you to try to explain what, like, your vantage point. It's probably going to make more sense. I'll just jump in with details.
Okay. So Sunday night, we went on a walk. We usually take a walk after supper as a family. This is a normal thing. If you know Mark, he has functional neurological disorder, and he winds down by the end of the day. He's like the Energizer Bunny, and he just has no energy left. Yeah. Oh, I have to say congratulations. Lisa Cannon had a granddaughter born on August 1st. 7 pounds, 20 inches long. Yay! Awesome. Babies are so much fun.
Babies are awesome.
Grandbabies are awesome too. We're going to see them soon. Okay, so back to we went on the walk. And Mark came back not feeling great, but he doesn't normally feel great at that time of night. So this isn't a Mark was feeling awful. Mark feels...
Yes, but awful like almost every other night of the
Mark
year.
feels this was feeling like his normal awful-ish. So it's kind of one of those, like, if you've been a pregnant woman, because there's only pregnant women, but like at the end of pregnancy, there are times that I'm, 8 months pregnant, 9 months pregnant, and people are like, how are you feeling? I'm feeling pregnant, meaning I'm feeling tired and sore all the time and feel like I have absolutely no energy. Yep. And are you feeling bad? I'm feeling like I do all the time. That kind of feeling. So,
yeah, just about summed it up.
So Mark feels awful all the time. So he didn't feel more awful last night necessarily. You just felt something was different.
Not last night specifically, yeah.
You felt something was different, but not like...
Or night before last, yeah.
I could do it. So that was Sunday night.
Right.
He took his pulse oximeter on his finger, and he took his blood pressure. His blood pressure was a little elevated, but we had been out walking, so we didn't think anything of it.
Not bad,
the pulse ox was randomly saying that it was an irregular heartbeat or short heart intervals.
Short interval between heartbeats or missing. So we've now recorded some of them, and you can listen to them, and it's like beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
They're slightly extended once in a while, not regularly, but
so that mentioned that thing was saying they were slightly irregular that night, but he wasn't feeling terrible.
No.
He just went on feeling his normal yucky.
Yuck.
But that night he was up in the middle of the night, and in the middle of the night you start thinking, and that's a good thing, good time to start thinking.
Praying
Praying
prompted the thinking, then the thinking got there.
But he was just thinking, with his condition, he has been more tired recently, and he's had more times where he's fallen. Mm-hmm. So Mark is a very graceful faller and doesn't hurt himself. He feels that his legs aren't working anymore. Do you want to explain this? Or
yeah, so like I'll be standing up, like my legs are working, I'm standing up. And I just get to a point where you're like, you don't think to tell your leg to move. I have to think to tell my leg to move sometimes, not always. Not usually. In the evening or when I'm not feeling well, I have to literally
think, left leg, go forward.
Left leg, go, and then it weighs like 600 pounds to get it there. I've written about this before on my Facebook. If you want to know more about my stuff, my Facebook is probably the better place to learn that. However, so legs really heavy. What was I talking about?
They just didn't work.
They just didn't work. And so you go to like walk forward and your hip shifts forward and your foot shifts forward, and then the leg doesn't hold it up and you just go down. And
or
so
his leg doesn't
usually
shift
have
forward.
the presence of mind like, oh, I'm falling, and I put my hands out. Most of the time I get to hands and knees, and then I just can gently lay myself on the floor. So I haven't like collapsed in that way. It's more my legs stop functioning.
And so a lot of times we don't even hear him.
Nope.
We're like, Mark was standing. Oh, now he's on the floor. It's not like we heard a crash or anything like that. He goes down so calmly and nicely.
They just they stop functioning. So knowing that this happens to me and knowing how it feels when it's starting to happen, you're kind of on guard. Like, all right, I'm not feeling well. I kind of put my hands up in the first place, and then.
And he feels all of this happening, but there's no way to.
I don't lose consciousness and nothing like that.
Yeah, and he just in the evenings, like. A lot of the evening stuff falls on me, which is fine. But like, we don't like, hey, you need to go watch the kids play outside.
Right.
We put someone else in charge of it because we know he's not feeling well at that time of night.
But when I'm feeling well, I'm fine.
Right. He's totally fine. But he knows this is coming on. So he stops activity or whatever.
We've never had problems holding babies or anything like that.
Right. We just don't want people to think that we're like putting people in danger or whatever.
Yeah, we're not careful. We're actually very, very cautious is the thing.
Some people think we're probably too cautious, but that's okay.
Because a walker wouldn't help me in that circumstance. I'd probably get hurt using a walker.
You can push it out of the way and you'd smash into it.
Yeah.
So,
and if we're out and about, I'm in that powered wheelchair.
Yeah. So we got a new powered wheelchair. That's been helpful, but we haven't needed to use it in the house yet. So if we're going on a walk in the evening, he's not feeling good, he can sit in it. But
if I'm in the house, I just need to get to the bed or get to the couch. That's all I need to do. I don't have to go anywhere because people can help with other things.
Right. So he was up thinking the falls are happening more regularly, most nights, but not every night. Not necessarily multiple times a night or anything. And he was just tired, like do some dishes and then totally tired, like exhausted.
Yeah.
like he had done a full day's work, which he hadn't. And so there's just more of that recently. So he was thinking, maybe I should call the doctor about these symptoms, and actually wrote to the doctor the next day saying, I wonder if we should have an appointment to just talk these things over. He has regular appointments, but the next one's out quite a ways. So should we do an earlier appointment? Then Monday afternoon, I don't know exactly what prompted. He was just feeling different than his regular awful, but still awful, and decided to take his blood pressure.
Well, I've been having mild chest pain.
Well,
which comes and goes, but it's mild.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand. Nothing's too mild. This is the thing. When you call a doctor and tell them you have any sort of chest pain, they're going to send you to the emergency room. So that's what happened. What am I supposed to be answering? Sorry.
about your blood pressure. Why you took your blood
yes.
pressure on Monday.
I don't remember because I've been laying down for a while and I'm like, well, I'll check it now because I had checked it Sunday night. When we had just come in from a walk and it was elevated, which makes sense because it was just on a walk.
We had been laying down. So what we've been doing, if you're a large family and you know that you don't always get time to spend time together to just talk about what's going on with the day, because by the time you go to bed at night, you're exhausted.
That's what nap time is.
We've been doing, at nap time, I get Elisha to sleep in here, the 2-year-old to sleep in here, and Mark and I sit in here and we chat about what we want the kids' schoolwork to look like or what the week's plans are going to look like. And we just kind of sit and chat while the kids have quiet time in the other room where they do a variety of different things. So we had been in here just chatting for a while and not even chatting about stressful stuff. So it wasn't that he was elevated because we were talking about something stressful. And do you want me to give any numbers or not numbers? Or just say it was elevated?
Really big numbers.
Really big numbers. And so
I'll say it was over 170 and over 100 multiple times.
So we called the doctor's office and just said, here's the numbers, what should we do? And it wasn't his doctor and my doctor are husband and wife.
Yep.
And she was working yesterday, so she answered and said, you should go to the emergency room, not like a rush to the emergency room, but just let them get these numbers on their machines, because the machines that the doctor's office has, they're just like a small little office. Yeah. Their machines were
they don't even
what
have
we
a
have.
Secretary. It's a husband and wife. That's it. Their
machines are what we have at home. And if you go through the hospital, like he was able to get an EKG. He would not have been able to have an EKG at the doctor's office. Right. So we did what the doctor's office told us, which was
3 vials of blood and did an EKG and then 2 chest X-rays. All within 45 minutes. My doctor doesn't have that equipment in their office. So they were checking for if his heart was doing anything weird at that moment, which if you have heart problems, sometimes they can do something weird and then not do something weird. They wanted to see things weird, but nothing catastrophic. They wanted to see if he had any signs of he had a heart attack or was going to have a heart attack. Actual damage.
So they have things they can look up on the blood work to see if certain things have happened, and then they also wanted to see if there was any damage. Or things they could see on the x-ray that would be explaining why he was having the chest pain he was having. Again, his chest pain is something that he has occasionally. He's had it more regularly recently, but it's not a huge pain. Like if you had to put it on a pain scale, it's not a big pain. It's more of a nagging, this is annoying pain.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's an annoyance. It's not I wouldn't put it in the category of pain, discomfort, where I'd put it. Yeah. What I have, honestly. So we were there for a couple hours. They were all great. They got to us really fast to make sure there was nothing actually happening. The nurse in the emergency room was like, Sarah. Oh, it was funny. So we're in the emergency room and we're talking about my mom with one of the other people. Yeah. The emergency room staff do not see the OR staff very often, but we had a nursing student who does rounds. Your mom goes in there on call in the evenings to go get but had done rounds around the hospital. So I was asking this new nursing student if she knew my mom. So I mentioned my mom's name, and the nurse we had looked at me and she was like, Sarah? And I was like, yeah. And she just kept looking at me. I was like, am I supposed to know you? Because she said her first name. I had only known her first name. And it was my 4th grade teacher who remembers me, who came to visit me in the hospital when I had my appendix out. And she brought me the book Strawberry Girl by Lois Linsky. But I would not have recognized her because that was
a long time ago.
A long time ago, 30 years ago or more, 35 years ago.
I was like 10.
You were like 10.
So like 33 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So anyway, she came and it was really nice to have her, like, we chatted and everything like that. So I'm not reading comments right now. We chatted and everything like that. And then we found out that the nursing student who thought she didn't know my mom came in at the end and we said, she's like, that name, I feel like I should know that name. And we were like, well, she always hums and blah, blah. And she's like, oh, I did rounds with your mom on this one specific thing. I'm not going to say because I don't want to like point this person out, but every person who works medical that I have met has one thing they cannot handle.
Yep.
I know someone who was a dentist, and of all the things she had to deal with, like pulling teeth and, you know, watching surgery on teeth and all of that stuff, the thing she couldn't handle is when people cleared their throat. Some people can't handle the blood draws, even though they can do the rest of it. So this nursing student had real trouble following my mom this one day in surgery. And so she's telling us stories about that one day, and it was really, really funny. And the x-ray person knew my mom, and everyone there was just great. We had a doctor we've never met in the ER before, but he was good. And so everything came back that Mark needs to follow up with our regular doctor, and that follow-up is Friday. And that probably will mean getting sent to maybe cardiology, getting sent to maybe stress test. I don't know what that's going to mean, but it means that we have some appointments possibly coming up.
More what?
So I do need to write to the person who wants us over on Thursday, because she wrote to me while we were at the hospital, and I didn't really want to say what was going on. And I was like, I'll get back to you because I don't know when our doctor's appointments are going to be and all of that. So now I can tell her it's okay. So anyway,
yeah,
there we go. That's how that all happened. So I'm going to go to, he deleted some messages. Okay. Hi, Sally Joe. Hi, Kim. I'm glad you were able to come. We like to do these lives. Last night, Mark was like, do you want to do a live? This was after he got home from the hospital. He asked, do you want to do a live tomorrow? I was like, sure, whatever. Sweet Pea, glad you're here. How are we? We are good, other than having to be at the hospital yesterday. But yeah. Mark's feeling good today and was able to do stuff. So Mark's episodes are very sporadic. Very routine, and we deal with them every day.
Right.
But very sporadic in the sense that he might have a good day, he might have a bad day.
Right.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think.
Like,
some days are definitely better than others. Yeah.
My condition, I can walk the same every day.
Every day. And
so unless I like break a leg or something, what I can do today is what I can do tomorrow. Mark, that's not the same.
She only owns one pair of shoes, though, in case anybody was concerned about that.
So if you guys saw, we made a short the other day about Naomi not knowing where her shoes were for a couple days, and they actually were in our van that was at the shop the whole time.
Right.
And she didn't know that. And somebody commented, she only has one pair of shoes. She doesn't like to wear shoes. If she had shoes, she wouldn't wear them. Yeah, she'd rather just be like, I don't have shoes. Sorry, I can't wear them today. So I make her wear shoes. There's a lot of times that we go somewhere and she carries her shoes to the car.
Your Sunday go to meeting shoes.
She carries her shoes to the car and puts them on if she has to. Because sometimes when we go places, we all go together, but we're going for this person has an appointment or whatever, and she does not like shoes, so she won't put them on until she has to get out of the car. That's just how it is. And a lot of people in our house only have one pair of shoes. So I'm not saying you guys have to have one pair of shoes.
Okay,
but
so like you have one pair of shoes because you have carbon fiber AFOs that help you walk, and they only fit in certain shoes.
So I have one pair of shoes because my braces only fit in those shoes, and I can't wear shoes without my braces because they're too heavy and I trip on my toes. Right. So I only have one pair. But I might be getting.
Malachi also has one pair that he can. Well, he has multiple.
He has two. So Malachi does not have the foot drop as badly as I do, and so he can wear regular shoes. If he's going to go out and play for long periods of time during the day, it's best for him to wear his braces because it keeps him from tripping on his feet. But if we're like the other day, he was going to run some errands with me, which they were mostly going to be in the car, but like walking to the post office type stuff, I let him put on his other shoes because his braces take a little while to put on. But are there things that you guys have that people think you should have like more sets of or whatever? Because I think that if it works for your family, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't work for somebody else's family. I can totally understand having shoes. Like my son-in-law is in construction, and sometimes, depending on who you work for or whatever, it's very important or necessary to wear steel-toed boots. But you don't necessarily want to wear steel-toed boots on a summer day going to the beach. So I understand you might want to have another pair of shoes. Mark's climbing over the bed. Oh, he's trying to get more comfortable. Rita is praying for you.
Thank you.
And Daddy's Princess said hi. Hi. So anyway, so that's how our week got really busy. And then next week we have some busyness. I don't even remember what it is.
Looking at the calendar out in the other room.
I am. Oh, we're supposed to go have lunch with people from church, which I'm very excited about. We're going down to the cottage in the woods. Ooh. So we've been trying. We get together with this couple sometimes, but it's usually at our house because they have a very small house. But in the summer, they have a big screen gazebo area at the camp that they have. And so in the summer, they can host us. Yes. So we're going to go down to visit with them, which the kids are very excited about because they love, when we go to church breakfast, this is who they sit with. Yeah. They're very excited. And there's a playground at the thing. So they're very excited to see the people, but there's also a playground, so that makes it fun too. So we have that next week, and then my mom also has a concert next week. So my mom plays in an orchestra.
Right, she plays cello in the orchestra.
Right. So we're excited to go to that because
there's a lot going on. Sorry, I'm looking at
there's a lot going on. And then just making other.
Sorry.
Do I talk to Mama Bear? Yes. Mama Bear and I live a distance apart, and we actually live closer now than we used to. Yeah. But both of our families have a lot more going on now than we used to. Yeah. So they have a lot more medical appointments because of Azariah and others. But they also have a lot more, they are very involved in their local church, and their kids do different things with the local church and with different homeschool groups down there, which they didn't have access to up where they were. So we used to go up to their farm and spend time with them on their farm. Yes. Well, they are not home all the time now like they used to be up there. Right. We also are busier now with other appointments and people growing up and different stuff going on. So we don't see each other very often.
I haven't seen him in far too long.
Yes, we have not seen Mr. Mama Bear.
Yeah. We saw everybody else. They don't use his name, do they?
No. Okay. Just as right.
So yeah.
We try to respect our friends that are on here. Like when I said hi to my friend Alex on here, I think she's okay with me using her name. When I say hi to my friend Maudie from Castleberry Branch, she uses her name online, but I try to be very careful with others. Yep. So Mama Bear's husband and Mark like each other, but
he's awesome. Yeah.
Neither of them are big phone texting people.
I cannot talk on phones very well, and when he's tried to call me in the past, he's been like in the truck, and he's trying to navigate somewhere, and he's talking to the phone like he's.
And most of those times, Mark has been where he can't get away from the chaos of our house, so it just makes it.
I don't do phone calls hard, pretty much at all.
So they're busy. They have a lot more going on down there, which is really, really great for their family, and all of that. But we are planning to get together this month. So that's very exciting. And I don't know if there's going to be any video or if we'll just both share about our experience because I don't know how much we're getting together over the time that we're going to get to see them. I don't know if it's going to be a quick visit, a longer visit, whatever. So I don't want to plan like, yes, we're going to sit down and do a video because we're just going to want to hang out too.
Yeah, we would love to have them for as long as they have, but they have other things going on too. So
right. Someone asked, are there big families around you to hang with? Okay, so we know some big families around us, but some of them are very involved in different ministries and churches of their own. So like we have, what? Well, your toe have a problem?
Yeah, some people have a lot more activities going on than we do.
So like we have a friend who, her husband is a pastor. She does a lot with the local church. Like she's actually written their VBS curriculum for this year, and that's going on next week. So like they're a large family, they have the whole age range like we do, but they're homeschooling and everything, but they're just super busy. So we see each other at like the Azure Drop, we saw each other at the parade, but we don't see each other to get together very often. Like we would love to, it just doesn't happen.
Life is so busy.
Life
I
is,
haven't had them over in too long.
I know, life is very
Haven't had them
busy.
over.
We have friends, like I said, we were going to a different town tomorrow. Someplace made me want to go. We were going to see some friends along the way. The one set of friends can't get together. This was like a last minute thing for us, but they're a larger family. They have a farm.
Yeah. Sorry, I was watching him. I wasn't listening.
That's okay. So we do know some larger families, but Maine has a lot of older people. Our section of Maine, it is very hard to live here on one income. Mm-hmm. And so there are a lot of people who have moved out of the area or just choose to live elsewhere because it's hard living here on a low single income. We can live here because of my mom. We've said that before, and that always comes up with comments of, well, we could only have a roof over our head because of our mom. We could only have a roof over our head in this area.
Yeah. This specific
This
group,
specific.
yeah.
But we owned a home in this area years ago that we sold because God had different things for us. Yep. But we would have been able to, we would have had that paid off by now.
We had the 30-year mortgage on it, but we were paying way ahead on it, so we would have been done in 10 or 12 years total. Mm-hmm. So we would have paid it up many, many years ago. But we've been totally out of debt since 2009. No car payments, no debt.
But it would be very hard for us to find a rent in this area for under $2,000.
Right.
And that would be like a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah, we'd have to change a lot of things, like cell phone plans would have to change, and grocery budget would have to, we'd eat more beans and rice and beans. We've done that in the past, but, God is also very good to us, and I feel like we have a very well-rounded amount of food and plenty of it, and everybody's happy and satisfied and healthy, and so, yeah, if the rent goes up, then things might have to change, but This is what God has supplied.
So Susan Myers said she connected with us through Mama Bear. Very cool. Lisa, Mama Bear is amazing. So we've known Mama Bear we met before COVID. So I don't know.
Actually met in person before COVID. You guys had been online for years.
We had been online and been friends for quite a while, but Mark's hiding some things.
Hi, people.
So we had been.
I have zero tolerance for foolishness on this thing. We're here to talk to people who want to talk to us. We're not doing foolishness.
So we had been friends online for years, and I thought she lived a lot further away than us from us than she did. She actually lived.
There was about 4 hours.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was still quite a ways, but I thought they lived like 7 hours from us.
But from where we are down here on the coast, they lived up here somewhere in this region. Okay, so my dad lived about 2+ hours up. So when we were at my dad's house or visiting with my mom before mom moved in with us, we would be within an hour and a half.
We'd be closer,
a lot closer.
So and they could host our size family.
Yeah,
and then they came down here. They didn't come down here as often because they had the farm with stuff, but we did host them here to sleep a few nights. But they also came for a meal at least once besides that too.
Yep. And he picked up the cabinets that time. We had all those cabinets.
So so we've known them. We met them in person before COVID.
Oh, yeah.
And then have spent days with them at their house.
Wish I had been able to spend more time with Bobby, who passed away a few years back. He was a pretty awesome young man and really impacted me. At the time, I was struggling with some things, and we talked through YouTube, through Facebook, and stuff like that. He's a very awesome young man.
Bobby is their son who died in
23.
He died in like 2021.
No. Oh, it was during COVID.
So anyway, it was a while ago. But he just was amazing. And if you go on Mama Bear's channel, she's got some stuff about him. And he had a YouTube channel. I think it's still available. Can you see? He's gonna look to see if the channel is still available. Okay. Someone asked me. Sweet Pea said, "Do you know Maudie's daughter, Jody?" I do not know her in person. I only know Maudie online, and I have communicated only with Maudie, but Jody seems very sweet. I just have not actually communicated with Jody. Maudie, we were supposed to meet her, but her family got sick and we weren't able to, but we are going to make plans to see them next time we go to Tennessee. Lisa Cannon, what does it matter about Trump? This is an amazing, godly family. We love this family. Thank you, Lisa. I'm just going to say that we do not really get into politics here on the channel unless they involve someone who's doing
Abortion abolition.
abortion abolition, something specifically unbiblical that's going on, something specifically against Christianity, but we're not just going to talk about this person or that person because there's a lot of people in this country who fight. But I will tell you that they're in the game of politics, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of people who say things and then don't follow through with those things. And so you can take with that what you want. But we definitely need more godly influence in our country. So, Rita Slade, I first saw you, Sarah, on Mama Bear to Many's. It was an awesome video. Yeah, we did multiple videos together.
Yeah, we did a bunch
when
on
we
her
were up at
channel,
her
I think.
house.
Yeah.
That was when we both were kind of starting. I don't know how far along in our views we were and everything. We both hit 1,000 views around the same time.
Right, and it was, I think, the second video we did, probably 6 months after the first
So,
video we did for them.
She
You
had
can look it up, there's probably
done
more videos
a
on there.
video. Like she had done a couple videos years ago that were more of a, she was trying to show someone like how to tie a sling or do a water bath canning or something that was like easier to do on video than talking. So she had like a private YouTube page, but hadn't like tried to grow it or anything like that. I think I started my YouTube channel before she really started hers as like a growing thing.
Right. Yeah.
And then her channel has
Far
grown
surpassed us.
leaps and bounds.
Well, she worked
And
on it.
I'm so happy with all the information she's been able to get out to people about trisomy 18 and just how precious life is, even when a child has a disability.
Yeah.
So that's been really awesome that her channel has been able to influence so many people in how babies that are born imperfect, as people want to say, are perfectly formed by God and doing exactly what they need to because God has a plan for them. So
Yeah. Yep.
So Mark shared a link to Sitting with Hope. That was Mama Bear to Many's son, Bobby. He made those videos.
He had some awesome ones.
So he was a really sweet guy. And my kids still talk about, we went up to see them and Bobby had made up a game. You might need to go see who's going over there. Bobby had made up a game about keep the ball away from Bobby, and he would run around in his power wheelchair trying to hit their ball. And my kids still think it was great.
Lisa, thank you. Could you private message Sarah on or myself on Messenger, and we will talk about that. But I don't want to leave the comment here right here. But thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. If you want to go see what's
Yes,
going
I will
on.
do that.
Someone's upset in the other room. So we recently moved around beds, and so you can see here we now.
The dining room.
Oh, we moved around a whole lot of stuff. I haven't shared all of that yet. But we have a twin size bed here now instead of the full size, queen size, whatever we had here. And so we, hi. What? So Elisha, who's 2, still sleeps with me, but we've now made a place for him in the boys' bedroom. And so he was wanting to go try out the boys' room, and he doesn't really want to be in there. But it's okay. He wants to be here, which is good. But anyway, we did a whole lot of changing of the house. And so I haven't made a video about it, but part of the changing of the house is because I have some reorganizing just in general that I want to do. The other reason is because Virginia and Wayland, that's my daughter and my son-in-law, and their 2 kids, Justice and Creed, yay, so excited, are coming to visit later this month. And so the big thing that we had to change was we had to move in our dining room, we had 2 big shelving units that had our like homeschool and craft stuff and everything. And I wanted to move those because they're going to be here for the entire week and we need more sitting space for the dining room. And this is something that's going to be a good change in the future anyway. So we're putting a lot of stuff right now because it's summertime and we still want to spend a lot of time outside. So we're putting a lot of stuff down in the basement that I'm going to organize later. So it's put in bins. So like all of our craft stuff is together in a bin, and I'll figure out what I'm going to do with that, whether I reorganize it and bring it back upstairs or I reorganize it and leave it in the basement. We have a dry basement and we have a dehumidifier down there. So it's something that we can do storage. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to do things. I did organize right here. This is not very organized, but this bin down here has all school stuff. I can't open it from right here, but that has like tons of math flashcards and spelling games and all kinds of stuff that I have left up here. Again, haven't organized this stuff because we haven't been spending a lot of time in the house. So we're doing like this organizing project. Let's get stuff to the basement and move furniture around. The actual organizing of the bins is going to be done in a later time. But that meant those two big cabinets came out of there. Our living room, we moved around where the guinea pigs were, where just some different shelves were in there. We moved the bed in here. We have to make some new shelving units for our laundry room, which is where we also keep all of our shoes. So this house is not too small for a family our size, but this house was not built for a family our size. So if I could put the walls where I want them, it'd be more organized. But I can't do that.
Yeah, you can open it up without having caused
Yeah, if you could just tear down some walls, that'd be great.
Bubby wants to show his shoes.
He got new shoes. Ooh, dinosaurs. Are you so excited about your shoes? Okay. So we so we're doing a bunch of projects like that. So I can't even think of all the things we've done. But there's been a lot of stuff that has gone. Oh, we organized the boys' room too because we had to put the bed in. And I had them keep out all the toys because sometimes it's just good to put toys away for a little bit so that they're exciting when you bring them back out. So we kept out the toys that we want out for Justice and Creed. Justice just turned 2 and Creed is little. So I figured if we put the toys away now, as we do cleaning over the next few weeks, we'll find, you know, the random Lego and that type of stuff that I don't want around. And that can be put downstairs too. But it keeps the little toys away for right now. So there's not stuff out. Hey, Rita loves your shoes. They've got dinosaurs on them. And I was told by one of my kids that they're Parasaurolophuses, which is very exciting. Isn't that exciting?
They're Parasaurolophuses.
Oh, you want to show again? Here.
Hey, if you want some good quality Parasaurolophus material, listen to Tommy Mitchell from Answers in Genesis.
Oh, you're stuck on my pants. There we go.
Awesome guy.
Not on my pants. You're stuck on my skirt. Your pants were stuck on my skirt. So anyway, so we just did a whole bunch of reorganizing there, but we need to reorganize the laundry room because that's where all the shoes are. Yeah. But if you watched our video yesterday,
whatever it was,
Malachi and Samuel got new braces, which are great, but we've already had a problem with braces. If you stand them up next to each other and then someone touches them, they all fall down and they make this loud clatter, and then people are just walking over them and all of that. So Samuel is getting a work project where he needs to build a shelf specifically for my braces, his braces, and Malachi's braces. And this isn't because Mark can do that. Like, It's not a problem, but this is a learning experience for Samuel to measure it out himself, make the changes he needs to, and all of that stuff.
He likes doing that.
Yeah, he really likes doing that. He's actually been detailing. He detailed our car a couple days ago, and then detailed Grandma's car today. So, yeah. So he's got to make that. So I need to clean out the laundry room. So I haven't talked to Mark about this, but I'd actually like to clear out some room in the garage because it's summertime right now, and move the shelves out there so I can get that room nice and clean before we put the shelves back in.
Okay. And then figure out where we're
Not tomorrow, but we'll have to do that someday.
We do have a little more room in the thing. We got the powered wheelchair to the lady who needed it.
So we had a really big, heavy power wheelchair that you might have seen in some of our videos. That a really sweet older lady who also gave us the tent we've been sleeping in.
Well, she's the one that gave us the wheelchair. She's
super sweet, but she gave us the wheelchair to use. And she wanted us to use it for indefinitely. We found that it was not a good fit for our family. It worked really well the first summer she gave it to us because that also was the summer that Samuel dislocated his knee. So God had a plan that we had it, and Samuel was able to still enjoy summer with us even though he couldn't walk. But it wasn't practical for our family and our circumstances to transport that to transport that to activities to do. We'd have to haul a trailer. It's hard enough to park our van anyway. It just didn't make sense. So we asked her if she wanted it back. She, at that point, said no. So then we kept it on hand because we thought we might have someone who needed it, but it ended up in their circumstance. It doesn't work for them either because of transportation. So we asked her again, would you like this back? And it actually is now useful to her. So we were able to get it back to her the other day, which was kind of a long story because she moved in the meantime, and we had to find someone who was traveling in between, but we got it back to her and she's now able to use it. And so that is a blessing from God that we were able to use it for a short time, and now she gets to use it again. And we got, you brought blocks? And we got a new one that we can fold up and put in the back of our van. So it works out really well for us. So I'm going to go back up to some of the questions that were asked. Sweet Pea said, how is your mom and how is your daughter Naomi? So if you're asking about my mother, who lives in the small house in the backyard, she is doing really well. And she actually has a whole bunch of trips coming up, some local and some world traveler type stuff. So that's very exciting. But we get to see her regularly. She's been really busy the last couple weeks and our schedules haven't met up great. So she has been able to come up like between work and going to one of her practices because she does the orchestra stuff. Okay. But we have had less days together, but she was helpful. She was working yesterday when we first went to the hospital, but she was able to come and help when the kids were getting tired of just being with Naomi to come help and play games with the kids.
Games, read books.
So that was exciting. If you're talking about Mark's mom, she's doing good. Nothing to report on her. And
we're going out tomorrow for a ride.
Yeah, for a ride with her, so that's gonna be fun. Yeah. And then daughter Naomi, she is good. She's still dealing with her POTS stuff, and some days are better than others. So she had some really good days. Actually a couple really good weeks, and then this weekend was a little hard. But today she got out to the garden and did a whole bunch of gardening. So she did. She just walked in the room.
I was gonna go say goodnight.
Oh, they were asking how you were.
Hello, I'm fine.
Yes. So this weekend she was a little. Saturday we did a lot because we went out and did ministry at our the local lobster festival, and then we also went out to the air show near us. And so by the time we got home, she was a little rough, and we were all a little rough. We all got a little red that day. Ooh, I have like,
or a lot of red.
I got horns. Look. I got like all these whiskers.
Okay, so we just read Revelation 13 today.
Yeah, horns of the beast.
The horns and the dragon and the beast and the
but I'm the woman who gets taken off to the wilderness. It's okay.
Oh, she's rescued by birthing a child.
Anyway, so yeah, we made a whole picture on our wall yesterday for the beast coming and the water coming out of the mouth and the earth swallowing the water, and yeah, it was great. So Naomi's doing well today. She just had a couple rough days. She knows the things she needs to do to help with those rough days. Hi, Sunshine. Julianne enjoys our cooking videos. I like our cooking videos too. We just haven't done any. We'll do more of those as winter comes on, but we spend a lot more time in the summer.
We're just outside. We don't do a lot of cooking in the summer. Okay.
Thanks, Sunshine, for loving our channel. Sweet Pea, can you share how home is going? Just like normal home stuff, generic home stuff. Generic home stuff is just busy because it's summertime. So we have a lot of activities that we want to do while the weather's nice. So we do a lot less schoolwork, book work in the summer. So we're still reading a lot of books and doing stuff like that. The kids are all doing part of a reading program. So some of them have now finished their required reading because you have to get a certain number of points. We have the 6-year-old is still finishing, but I now have all his books in the house and he's super excited and he's reading like 100 pages a day because he's super excited about it. It's not like a forced thing. We just had to figure out which books he really likes. And we found out that he likes the Who Was series that are like biographies. So he's been reading a lot of those and he thinks they're great. So he just finished one about Johnny Appleseed. And he's now reading Booker T. Washington, Mr. Rogers. He's reading Jane Austen right now. So he's very excited about that. So we're doing a lot of that. We're doing a lot of still learning outside stuff. So the building fires and those types of things. But also not wanting to miss opportunities with friends. So like this friend wrote to say, hey, do you guys want to do lunch Thursday? Yeah, that sounds great. Go down by her house by the water. So we just take more days off, if that makes sense. I will be doing a video. I'm probably not doing it tomorrow because of our trip, but I'm going to be doing multiple videos in the next week or so about different homeschooling aspects, because I'd like to encourage parents that you don't have to send your kids back to school in September. And if you want more information about that, I will gladly share, because I love talking about homeschooling. So I'm going to make a set of videos about homeschooling, and then I'm going to do a live specifically focusing on homeschooling questions people might have, that type of thing. And in that, I will share more of what we're doing for homeschooling this coming year, because we change it up every year. Maudie's on, very cool. And she just got back from seeing her father-in-law. You guys can be praying for Maudie's father-in-law. She said he's the same. So just praying for peace with end of life decisions and things like that going on. Just for the family to just be at peace with it is a good thing. But I was encouraged by my live I did with Maudie the other day, where she was finding notes in a Bible. If I'm saying that wrong, Maudie, please let me know. But she had found notes in a Bible that he had written that were just, she knew he was a Christian already, but seeing those things were just an encouragement to her in these times. So thanks you for loving the lives.
Oh, if you do like this live, there's a thumbs up button. If you push that, I think it helps something. I don't know. If you think of it, give it as a thumb. If you enjoy it. If you don't like it, give us a thumbs down if there is one.
Oh, yay. Okay, so Maudie and I were talking about reading curriculum, and I mentioned alphaphonics to her. Yeah, it's really fun, and especially if you have kids that like to do games, play games with them. I love to just set up like obstacle courses with the kids that they have to go to the end of the line and find the word, you know, that type of thing. I love that type of thing. Okay, so Sarah, as you know, my name is Susan. I was born in 1960 and played cello in Michigan, or middle school orchestra. Let me know what that word is, because my mom was actually from Michigan, is where she started playing cello.
Yep. That's so cool.
So yes, and our cherished five, I didn't specifically write to anyone to say I was on the live, but you can be praying for their family because they have some stuff they're going through. Oh, good. I'm glad you're looking forward to the homeschool content. If you have any questions, feel free to ask questions that I can answer on one of these, that I could answer on one of my videos I'm going to do, or come back for my homeschool live. With your outdoor theme, have you taught about safety, such as if you get lost, to stay in one place? We have not got into that, but we're doing it in stages. So some of the safety things they have been taught is about fires. We talked about fires, like being around a campfire, how to be safe, that type of thing. We talked about like stop, drop, and roll. They have chainsaw safety.
Axe safety. Yeah,
like sharp things. So we're going through things a little bit at a time. Like we learned how to boil water on the fire so that we could wash our dishes. So we talked about how to keep things clean when you're out in the woods and all of that. So yes, we're going through, but yes, a very good thing of staying put when you are lost, or following water, depending on the age of your children.
And where you are.
And where you are.
Yeah.
But following water down to the head, like the way that it is running, flowing, because that tends to get you towards towns. Yeah. Maudie, you're correct. We loved the notes we found in his Bible. He's entering hospice now. So it's good to know that he's going to get care from people who specifically work with people who are at this end of stage stuff. Real life, I have to put these pieces together, so he has a hammer.
Thump, thump, thump.
So you're going to hear thumping in the back.
It's foam thumping, though.
Hi, are you okay? You got a loose tooth?
Yeah.
We have an 11-year-old with a loose tooth in my room. That's how things happen here at night. So yes, let's keep praying for Maudie's father-in-law. And I'm glad that you were able to find that Bible with those notes, because that's really good. So yes, thank you guys for letting me know that you like the day in the life. We should do more of those. Life's just been a little crazy recently with in and out appointments. Like yesterday,
and some bonus appointments for me. Because
yesterday we were at the hospital for a period of time. Today I took a child to an appointment. It was a regular scheduled appointment. Malachi had an ear, nose, and throat appointment because he is a very loud breather. And so just a quick update on that appointment. They didn't find anything visible they could see that was a problem, and we are starting a nose spray to help clear up passages to see if that helps. If you ask Malachi, the reason we couldn't do something else is because his nose is too small to put a camera up. So
we have small cameras in here.
and so they said that they wouldn't do it for his age in the office. So if the nose spray does not work after a few weeks, the next step would be to sedate him and put a camera up, or to do an x-ray. But those are things they'd rather.
I'd vote X-ray over.
It's less complicated to do the nose spray for a little bit because they think that's going to be a help. So hi, blessed Nana. And like I said, cooking videos are more of a wintertime thing because we spend a lot of time outside and come in like, what can we put together real quick? Because we've been hanging out all outside.
Because we're outside until supper.
I actually mentioned it to Mark's mom today when we went out for our walk after supper. Mark had to stay in because his back was bothering him. But we walk out the door and the kids go running down the driveway. Like they hadn't been outside for hours already today. It was like they'd never seen the sunlight before.
Like they hadn't spent 5 or 6 hours out there.
So it was just funny. Does anyone have sleep apnea? So no one we have is diagnosed with sleep apnea. Malachi is our only loud I breathe loudly for other reasons. The thing that is wrong with my nose, because people mention my loud breathing all the time and seeming out of breath. My loud nose is because I broke my nose when I was 5. So I have a deviated septum, which if I wanted to go in, they could fix that. And I have large turbinates.
You need to do a turbinate reduction.
So they could go in and they could like cut them, make them
Rotor
smaller.
your nostrils. Just
so
see if you want to
anyway,
sign up for that.
I am still a candidate to have surgery, and I could call at any point and get on the list to get surgery done. For myself, I breathe well enough, and I don't have any sleep apnea issues or anything like that. So I'm sorry if it bothers people that I sound like I'm out of breath all the time, but I feel fine with that. And being a busy mom, I just don't have the time that I want to put aside for that. But we want to make sure that we're not missing something big with Malachi. He does not have signs right now of sleep apnea, but I found something that we can use to look a little bit more. The doctor does not feel like we need to go for a sleep study or anything. So we are following up with him in like 8 weeks. So, anything else? We have another child in here. They keep coming. Some nights we look up and we're like, but one kid is in here. How'd they all get, not like in the middle of the night, but like we're sitting around talking and all of a sudden like they just start swarming in, which is great because you know what, someday they're not going to swarm in. I'm not going to, like Josiah's one in here, Abigail's one in here, Elisha's one in here. And at some point, I'm going to realize, wow, Josiah hasn't come in at night for a long time. And I missed that last time.
Or Abigail's often married.
Oh.
It's going to happen eventually.
It will. But you don't realize what's going to be the last time. Like having a little one, you don't realize the last time they're going to crawl up in your lap. And so you don't.
Or the last little one you'll have. You don't.
Or the last little one you have. The last time they're going to say, Mommy, can I help you make supper? Because they're not busy doing their own thing. The last time they say, hey, can I ride along to the store with you? Just make sure that you're looking at all those little points. Right? Right? Thank you. It does. Thank you about the kids being beautiful. And it does go by really fast. I was realizing today, like Samuel, I mean, I've already thought this, but today it hit me harder. Samuel is starting his senior year and he already knows what he wants to do when he turns 18, which he's going to finish his senior year and then have multiple months before he turns 18. But he'd like to get into dispatching. And so he's working this senior year to try to help, like he's doing certain things to get better at typing and get better to listening to the scanner and all of that stuff. And I realized like how fast it is that he's going to like have a full-time job and be gone. Even if he still lives here, he's not going to be here all the time like he is right now. And he was asking me today, he's like, when's our next trip to Tennessee? Because I hope we go again before he starts working,
Yeah.
so that he can go with us.
Yeah.
We don't have another trip planned. Not that we're not going, we just don't have one planned. Someone said, would you ever consider sharing about your experience being foster parents? Forgive me if that's an intrusive question.
Oh.
I think we have shared that before.
Yep.
I will give a quick thing and then maybe we'll do a longer video at some point. We got into foster care wanting to do 0 to 5 with special needs. And when we were talking special needs, we were thinking autism, Down syndrome, special like needs that
Like feeding
medical
tubes and
needs that
medical
parents
needs.
might not know how to, like other people might not know how to deal with, because we had both had
met
experience.
at a special needs camp. Like this is who we are.
So I met at the camp we met at. I was working with a girl who was totally wheelchair bound, nonverbal. I had to know who she was to be able to have her for the week, because I needed to be able to read her cues and all of that stuff. So that was what we were looking for. Our first placement was a young teenager who had gotten himself into legal trouble, had a parole officer, and he was dropped off without any parole instructions on a weekend where we didn't know what we were supposed to do. And we actually,
Bag full of dirty clothes.
empty pill bottles. We actually messed up that weekend because I allowed him to contact a family member that he had a phone number for. So I figured he was allowed to, and I had not been told differently. That was our first experience. We do still talk to him, but we needed to ask DHS to move him because he was not, Mark didn't feel comfortable going to work every day, leaving him home with me and little children. Not that he had done anything.
No.
It was just to a point that we were like, this
Well,
is
you
too
don't
much
know.
for me to deal with.
Part of foster care is you just met a kid a couple
What?
weeks ago, and you don't
Abigail,
know.
can you put some juice in this cup? Did you get it out? Oh.
It's not a great system. I'll just say it's not a great system.
So he was our first place.
Some kids are really benefited by it, but many kids, I don't think the system works well.
Yeah, he
For
was our
actual
first.
Mentoring, loving, parenting, making kids part of your lives, for the most part.
Our second placement was some children who had been voluntarily placed by a parent. The parent needed surgery that couldn't take care of her kids.
Yeah, it was a long recovery. Yeah.
Long recovery time, and so we had her children. We ended up having one of them back later because the surgery didn't fully work and she had to go back for more surgery. That was hard because there were some medical needs with the child that weren't being addressed by DHS. That wasn't her fault. Like, that wasn't the mom's fault. It's a broken system. And so that was hard. They ended up getting moved the first time because they, mom was able to take them back. And then when we had one of them the second time, that one got moved because he did not deal well with change. And we were about to have a baby. Like I was due with Naomi. He
just really needed one-to-one care.
Yeah, he needed a family that could devote time to him. And if it was going to be a long-term placement for us, he was going to be adopted by us, or like, this is years-long fostering, we would have been part of that process to help him adjust and everything, but we didn't feel it was fair to him. Like I said, his mom was recovering from surgery, and he might have been with us another week. He might have been with us another couple months, and we didn't think it was fair to him to adjust to a new baby in the household with the other issues that he had going on. So it was out of love and compassion for him that we didn't keep him. It didn't have to do with him specifically. He needed a better
I think there are
home.
difficulties in bringing kids that you don't know into your home with your children, that you just live different lives kind of thing. I think there's a lot of culture shock that happens, and just trying to figure out how to adjust to that shock and culture. I mean, we live a lot differently than the average people.
And then our third set was a set of siblings, and they lived in a very different household than we did, and we were their first place to go after being moved from their family, and there were a few things where they didn't understand why they were with us. They didn't understand that we didn't have a part in. They thought we had done something to take them out of their home.
No, they don't tell you all that.
But we didn't know these people. We didn't know this family. Even though it was a local family, we had no ties to this family, so we had no idea. But the kids thought we had somehow pulled them out of their house. There was just a lot of
kids are confused.
Right.
When someone takes you away from your family, you don't understand as a kid what's going on. I can't imagine what they go through. You know, like everybody's the enemy. Like everybody took your parents away from you. They don't understand when we say we had nothing to do with it.
You can just do some juice you'll share with me. And so they were with us for a short time, but we were coming up every 2 years. You need to like re-enroll in being a foster parent, do more hours and that type of thing. And we had just decided this wasn't for our family. Having little kids in our house, part of it was they didn't want us taking the children to church with us.
But that's who we are.
But that's who we are. We had no place, like, we're not going to not go to church because we have kids in our home. And the other thing was discipline looks different for foster kids. So if I had my own 3-year-old wasn't listening to me, I would pick them up and take them to timeout or a quiet spot or, thank you. No, this is okay. I would take them to a quiet spot. I would take them in the other room so that we could talk over what happened, not in front of everybody else, you know, that type of thing. I was not allowed to touch a child in like, I couldn't pick up the 3-year-old throwing the tantrum on the floor to take them to a quiet room. I wasn't allowed to touch them. And that, it's hard to parent when you have other kids around, that you
Because you're not even parenting, you're just doing, you're trying to fulfill like this parenting quota from the state, but it's not, it's hard to make it real parenting.
Right. So like I couldn't.
They tie your hands at many, many turns.
So Elisha is 2 right now. If I said it's time for bed, you need to climb up on the bed, and he didn't, I would pick him up and put him on the bed. But that would have been seen as forcing the child or something from their view. I don't think that telling a 2-year-old, no, it's time to lay in your bed and putting them there. I'm not saying strap them down or anything. I'm saying like setting them on the bed. I don't think that's abusive or wrong parenting or anything. But the state doesn't see eye to eye with how parenting should go.
Well, and they have like legal ramifications and insurance companies and all sorts of, you know, taxpayers and
of course, they don't want the person taking the 2-year-old and like chucking them in the bed. So they have to make rules.
Yeah.
But it just makes it hard to, when the kids are in your home, you're supposed to parent your children the same way you're parenting the foster children. And so now I'm not allowed to touch my 2-year-old to put them in bed. And so it just, because then stories go between, because the foster kids talk to caseworkers and
may even tell them the truth.
May tell them the truth, may tell them a lie, and may tell them a lie on purpose, or may just tell them a lie because they're kids and they saw something. You know, they're like, oh, well, that person wouldn't let them eat dinner. Well, no, I didn't let them have the ice cream after because they threw it on the floor. You know, like there's a difference there. And it's not that the kid is trying to lie. Things just come out wrong. And it's very hard. My parents were able to do foster care and actually adopted out of foster care. But they had no kids in the house. And my mom sees how much of a struggle it would have been bringing kids from a totally different family culture into our home, because my brother and sister, adopted brother and sister, were raised, because my parents didn't have them till they were teenagers. They were raised very differently than my parents raised me. And it's not that it was right or wrong, but it would have been hard to put those two together.
But many kids, not even in foster care, are struggling with mom's house this week, dad's house this week, or mom's house during the week, dad's house during the weekend.
Whose rules do I listen to?
Whose rules do I listen to? You know, I dealt with some of that when I was a single father. How do you parent with someone that you're no longer with? Like, kids are going through a lot these days. So I'm just saying, our culture is falling apart. I think that's why we want to invest so much in our family, because we see all the things that can go wrong when you're not cultivating a biblical marriage, when you're not pursuing your children's hearts, when you're not actually doing the things God expects parents to do. You see how quickly. Yeah.
So it was a broken system. We were fostering when Naomi was born. So she's 19 now. So it was a broken system then. I don't know before that, because I was not involved in any way in the foster system before that.
Well, and there's always better caseworkers and worse caseworkers, and people with bigger caseloads that just can't do all the things they need to do. And there's a lot. The courts have a part in it. There's a lot to it. It's not a matter of one person.
And we know people from out, like in middle what's it called? Midwest, like Bible Belt, where there's no problem with taking the kids to church.
Yeah.
And the culture there is just very different and accepting of we're going to do VBS and this type of thing.
We
Where
live in
here,
Maine. Maine is an entirely
our
different
workers were very hostile to us doing those things. So it would have to be different. But I'm thankful that there are Christians who are able to bring them into their homes. It's just not for us. Okay. Wasn't broken then. Hi, Sarah. Someone said 1980s kids went through a lot too. Yes. I think every generation has been through their own things that are hard. And I think we have to not live in a victim mentality. I think there are a lot of people who, because of hardships growing up, still live a hard life because they don't say, I had hard circumstances. I'm going to overcome those circumstances.
Some are a lot stronger. I mean,
yeah, some are a lot stronger for them. So I was just sharing our experience with foster care and why it did not work out for our family. Again, might work out. His feet are in the way of the door.
trying to take my feet off. Sorry.
Someone, do you have a dog? And you said hi. No, we don't have a dog. We have 2 guinea pigs. That's our only pets.
2 pigs.
Are we real? Yes, I'm real. You can pinch me. Ow, that hurts. I don't know what that question means.
We don't do live streams a lot. Can you tell? Like,
okay.
I enjoy the interaction. I'm not used to having people that I don't know be involved in it.
Okay, Maudie. Maudie has to go. We are glad you were here, Maudie, and continue to pray for her father-in-law. Like she said a little bit ago, he's on hospice, and definitely just prayers for the family as they walk through this together.
Don't forget to give the thumb before you leave.
You don't need more juice right now. I'm going to get going. I can answer this last thing, but this little guy is getting ready for bed. I was in a foster home in the 1960s when I was 2, and my foster parents were great. I am so glad that you had a great experience, because I think there are really great, loving foster parents out there, and I don't want my experience, our experience with being foster parents and working with the foster care system to taint everyone's view of it. It's just what happened for us. And so you would have to go play by play, like person by person, to see if it's right for your family and your circumstances. Yeah. But we have heard some wonderful foster care stories also. So just like
friends that do foster care, or family members, people who go to church with.
Just like we've heard some horrible stories where parents get divorced and the things the kids have to go through and everything. And then I know some families that co-parent wonderfully, and not that it's good for kids to not have mom and dad together, but some people do an amazing job being adults and working together for their good of their kids.
Yep.
So
and some don't.
Yeah, so it's on every side of the spectrum, but I'm glad that you had a really good experience. Yeah. And I know that there are a lot of wonderful Christian families out there that are doing foster parenting. And if you guys haven't heard about it, there's something out there called Safe Families, which might be for some people. I think at our stage, with the medical issues we have, this wouldn't necessarily be the best for us, but it's more of a link to help families avoid the whole foster care system.
Yeah, it's
and
not through
get
the state.
Parenting help and parenting respite care support type things, rather than just giving your children up to the state. Yeah. So Safe Families, you can look in your area. It seems to be a large commitment, but a different commitment than foster care. So if you are interested in the idea of foster care, but that doesn't sound right for your family,
well, just invest in other families, you know, trying to help a family that's on the verge of having the state come in, you know, to be able to help them in whatever way you can.
Yeah, so that's just another program people could look into that might be available in your area. It's just not something for us to do right now. So, Sweet Pea, you have a great night too. Yeah, we probably we're going to get going so I can get this guy to bed. But thank you guys for joining us on Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God.
Bye! We live in Maine.
We live in Maine, and we're going to head out for tonight. We'll see you guys later. Bye!